American Shopping Party, Mission, Know Your Superpower. Chapter 1, You Decide the Fate of Nations. The American Shopping Party has a simple mission. Number 1, help consumers see the power they hold in every dollar they spend. Number 2, how they can use that power to ever greater effect. Billions thrive or die by the dollar you spend. And that's true of your life too. You decide your community, your small business and neighborhood, the taxes for your school, those of your town, and your own job as well. It's all right there in every dollar you spend. Are you spending it locally or for those of China, better known as big box retail stores? We've all heard this before when we say every dollar is a vote. What better example than the all-powerful China, unstoppable with some saying Z looks ready to replace America, if not actually crush us soon. Just look what they have fueling their rise to global supremacy. China boasts a $15 trillion economy, the world's second largest, growing 5% on a slow year. Cheap oil from Russia means Europe manufacturing has become too expensive to compete with China-made. The Russian economy is booming just as Europe and America are facing economic slowdowns. Saudi Arabia just signed with China as a snub to Biden. The pillar of our U.S. petrodollar now siding with China. Iran and other Middle East nations are also lining up oil deals with China. BRIC nations are joined by dozens of other countries looking to replace the petrodollar. Is this the end of the U.S. dollar? China looks ever more serious about invading Taiwan. Its military grows ever larger and more dangerous by the day. America's already struggling in Ukraine against Putin's invasion, and now in the Middle East. The U.S. can't afford another war with China. China is buying off or scaring nations into joining their economic and political orbit. The stories grow of China bribes of our own leader, those throughout the political system and institutions of every kind, right here at home and for those abroad. We have heard the stories. It all sounds so scary. Scary indeed, but there is another force in the world that is even more powerful still. It's your superpower as the American shopper. You have the power to change the world at will. Imagine we just stop buying China-made. We get our Euro brethren to join us. Give it 3 to 5 months. China's mighty economy will take a massive hit. President Xi may even see the collapse of China. Oh, no matter how low the price of goods, no matter how great their oil deal with Saudi Arabia nor Iran's and the other Gulf states, no matter how big and bad that China military, no matter how many U.S. politicians they bribe, the Saudi prince will suddenly see the wisdom of partnering with America once again. And that whole booming Russian economy, Russia will falter too. They say Putin just beat the military might of those of Europe and the USA. Russia beat the bankers and their financial SWIFT system. Putin is doing just fine without international investors and winning the war in Ukraine. Sounds incredible, but we all know Russia's economic miracle stops the end of China's exports to America. Xi knows it. Putin's economic and military miracles are a lot like those of China's. All of them live and die by the whims and choices of the American shopper. That's you. You decide the fate of nations. This will be done without dropping a single bomb, no protest marches, no talking to power, no media headlines, no asking politicians for action. You simply don't buy China-made, and magically, all these history-making changes happen around the world. So when we say billions thrive or die by the dollar you spend, this is so true for America too. Consumption is 70% of the entire U.S. economy. That means you decide who gets paid 70% of the time. The government, the military, the media, Wall Street, politicians, bankers, multinationals, all of them play second fiddle to you, the American shopper. That is the American system today. It all starts with you. Discover your power to change the world with every dollar you spend. Welcome to the American Shopping Party.